Welcome to the Morning Breadcast. I am Mark Krizik, your host with Digging for End Time Truths. Thanks for joining me today. We are starting a new series this week, but we are following the theme that we talked about last week because we ended last week on the book of Revelation and the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And we went through in very brief, not in detail, briefly, we went through and pulled a few nuggets out of the book of Revelation. And we went through chapter 4, where we walked into the throne room of God. Chapter 5, where Jesus is proclaimed the one that is worthy to take the scroll, which is the title deed of the earth. And God is holding court. And he is proclaiming that Jesus is now the owner of the earth, taking its back from Satan, who swindled it from Adam and Eve in the garden. And the whole book is about the preparation of Jesus' first coming, dying on the cross, winning this back. And this is the courtroom scene that we went over last week in chapters 4 or 5. And we opened the scroll that is the procedure for the taking control of the earth by Jesus. And we went through the first four horsemen of the apocalypse. This week, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about being prepared for that to happen, right? We're going to call it our prepping series. And we're not talking about, storing up food and whatnot, although those aren't bad ideas. Everybody should be ready for something, right? But we are going to be talking about prepping your heart, prepping those you know, prepping in the natural, prepping spiritually. It's going to be a week of preparation. What we want to do, we want to start in 1 Samuel. The prophet Samuel is speaking in chapter 7 and verse 3, and he says, "Then Samuel spoke to all the house of Israel." So the prophet is speaking to the house of Israel, saying, "If you return to the Lord with all your hearts, then put away the foreign gods and asterisks or idols from among you, and prepare your hearts for the Lord, and serve him only. Then he will deliver you from the hand of the Philistines, or from your enemies," right? So that's Samuel telling the people of Israel to prepare their hearts. They had gotten away from God. They've gotten busy. They've gotten into their own life. They loved what they had, and they had left their seeking of the Lord. And it's easy to do, especially in this day and age. So Samuel is warning them to get back to the Lord and leave your idols. Serve God only, right? And it's what Jesus said towards the end. He said, watch, right? Also, we have to note in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 3, there is the voice of him that cries in the wilderness, "Prepare ye the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God." So Isaiah is quoting here what is spoken of in the New Testament about John the Baptist. Because remember, before Jesus' first coming, there was a voice crying out, "He's coming. Get ready. He's coming." So it's interesting to note that before Jesus comes back, God gives fair warning that he's coming. And that was the first time he came, and John the Baptist was the one who did it, right? He went forth proclaiming, and we'll get into that a little deeper, but we're going to leave a quick takeaway from today, and that is, if you're busy in your life, if you're caught up in things in this world, if you have left the Lord, come back and prepare your heart for the coming of the Lord. Jesus said, "What I say to you, I say to everyone. Watch. Watch for his coming. Be ready." He talks about a parable of the man who had a household. And he said, if the man of the house would have known when the thief was coming, he would have prepared. He says the same way, you prepare for the coming of the Lord, for you don't know when he's coming for you. So be prepared, right? So that's the takeaway from today. It is, be prepared. Prepare your hearts, right? Get right with the Lord. Keep a watch out for you, your children, and your children's children. I'm going to leave you with that. And thanks for joining me today. And we will see you again next time on the Morning Breadcast.